up, beautiful people? Welcome once again to hellohnclothing. Welcome to another wonderful tutorial. In this video, we're going to learn how to make this layered flare design, okay? So we can incorporate this design into any project at all, be it a gown, a blouse. You can use other fabrics that have structure. If you're using Ankara, make sure you put stay. You can use a paper stay or gum stay, okay? And if you're using maybe any other one like organza, you're going to be ironing it up well and layering it on well so that you have a good number of the flare design so it will stand well, okay? So before we even start planning out and plotting out the design, first of all, you want to know that if you're going to be using the spiral method to create your flare, you must ensure that by the time you open it up, you'll be having, you can see this wave-like kind of thing that you can see on the flare design, okay? I'm going to be using my slash and spread to achieve the wave-like kind of thing. And another reason for this tutorial is to show you how to properly finish it up, because as you can see in this one, this is like an organza fabric, but there's no rolled hem, there's nothing finishing it up. So we're going to see how to properly finish it up so that it doesn't fray, okay? And let me see, is there any other thing? I think that's about it. So let us begin this tutorial. Okay, before we start planning out the pattern for the flare, for cutting out the flare, we need to first of all determine where we want our design to be. So usually we've seen styles that the flare design is starting from like the half length going all the way to the back half length, okay, like what we can see here. We've also seen the design coming from somewhere around the bust going round the arm to the back, okay? So in whichever case you want this flare to start and to begin from, you need to take that measurement when taking the measurement of your client or of yourself. So once you've taken that measurement, you then are going to come to your pattern paper and plan it out, okay? So that's the step we are on now. We've assumed we've taken up the measurement, so let us begin planning it now. Okay, so if you're going to be taking from the one waist to the other, the measurement I have here is 28 inches, okay? So you're going to be measuring 28 inches out and dividing it by 2, which will give us 14 inches. That means we are going to be planning out our design on a 14-inch. We're going to be planning it out on a 14 inches wide paper. So I'll be cutting it on here, okay? And once you cut it up here, you're going to then draw slash lines through. But first of all, even before you draw the slash lines, so this is just a scrap piece of paper. I've cut out the 14 inches, right? And then I also want to do the size that I have. So from the waistline, you can see that it's actually small, and then it goes higher up when it gets to this part here. So from the waistline, I'll just do maybe like 3 inches wide, okay, like 3 inches wide, and I'll let it progress all the way to about 7 inches. So even if you're doing the one that will go across, you want to make sure you do something like this. So I'm drawing my slash lines here. This part should be on fold by the time you are opening it up, because that one is where will be on the shoulder. Okay, it should be on fold. This one will be going into the half length. Okay, so now that I have this, I can then decide to slash through to this point, slash to this point, and then spread it on another paper, so that I can, this thing I'm doing is so that I can achieve that wavy effect. Okay, so I'll slash here. I won't cut through, just slash, and then slash here too. I won't cut through. Once I've slashed it, I can now open it up using my slash and spread. Oh, even if it opens up, just use a paper tape and I just want to do like a square boxy thing like this, like what you can see. You just want to square it to be 90 degree, so you're having 90 degree like a box in the middle there. Okay, so let me get paper and spread it on it. Unfold, I'll use the paper tape to hold it there. Good, and then you want to put your paper 2 there on that point 2. And you want to also put this one this way, so you can see how we spread it. Now that we have this, you're going to just practically use your measuring tape and measure what distance you have. What distance do you have from here to here? It's 6 inches. So, and then check the distance you have from here to here. It's about 6 1/4 inches. So that means you need to be progressing. You'll be tilting your tape and be progressing towards that. Okay, be tilting your tape and be progressing towards 6 1/4 inches. I hope you get the gist. We've done that. Now you come here to measure what you have from here to here, 4 inches. Measure what you have from this part to here, about 4 inches still. So you want to be progressing. Okay, be progressing, be tilting and progressing. Okay, so for this part here, you want to actually even curve it. You don't want it to be too sharp. You want to curve it. Okay, yeah, I think I've gotten the perfect curve. Even here, you don't want it sharp. You want to curve it out. So when you get here, you don't want to cut it sharp. No, you want to blend it, blend. So you're blending it that way. I hope you get the gist. And when you come to this corner, you're not cutting it sharp, you're blending it. You are blending it, so you are blending the corners to a curve. Okay, and you're cutting this way, you're blending this way, you're blending this way. So that's what we're cutting out now. Okay, and this part that we spread will give you that wavy effect. Okay, so let us now cut this out. Very good. So this is what we'll be having, and you can see it's see it. By the time you actually then cut it out, can you see the wavy? Let me show you. By the time you spread it open, can you see the wavy effect? like we spread it open and we sew. You can see the wave-like effects that you can then like manipulate however you want to. Okay, so yeah, now that we have this, we're just going to be placing this on our fabric. We first need to prep up the fabric. We're going to be using organza because organza has structure. If you use chiffon, you use netting, except maybe you are going to be putting something to give it structure, okay, so that it stands well. But organza will stand well. We're going to use organza, and then we're going to just prep it up. We'll iron it, place this, cut it out. So let's do all the prep work and then we'll begin to cut out. I'll show you how to cut out to get the very perfect, neatly finished garment. Okay. Okay guys, so I have ironed everything. You saw this process I used in ironing everything flat. So if you're going to be doing more layers, more ruffles, like I had about 1.5 yard of fabric that I'm going to be using for this. Say up to 1.5, I think it's just about a yard of fabric that I'm using for this, okay? And you want to iron everything out. Remember that all the folded parts should be here. You're going to be placing this pattern on the fabric. Make sure it aligns. This unfold part here, let it align to the folded part. I'll just pin it down there. Okay. And then I'm going to be pinning round. Okay. So obviously if you want this very full, you need to do much more pinning than I just did, right? So now that we have this, you have ironed everything, you have pinned it down, and we are ready to cut this out. I have a soldering iron. I have to get one. So we're going to be using our soldering iron to actually cut this out. And the soldering iron will be good such that it's going to finish up the hem. Okay, this is the trick. It will finish up the hem part of this ruffle flare so that, you know, organza kind of like pulls thread, it frays a lot. So with this, it's going to put the frame to very, very minimum shedding. Okay, so I'm going to plug this now to electricity, and yeah, we begin the process. So let me just bring my extension closer, then we begin. So I'm plugging this. You can see the lights coming on already. Okay, so I'll be starting from here. You want it to heat up. You'll be seeing the smoke coming out. Okay, so after the soldering iron has melted this part, okay, you need to even try as much as possible not to make it so hot. Look at this now, it melted it without giving it burning marks like this one. This one was not properly done. So you don't want it so hot so that it's melting and burning and giving it that smell. So what we're going to do now, we'll remove this, but we will not yet unfold because we need to properly trim it well. So the trimming is to remove this fire burn mark, okay, just because we let it overheat. If you look closely here, it wasn't so bad. The overheating was not so bad, but look at this one now. You can see you are seeing some melted fabric. So you want to kind of like just trim off that melted. You don't want to trim to make it crisp and clean though, because doing that will result back to it will result back to it fraying. But you just want to take care of that part that is too over burnt, okay? Try as much as possible not to even let it get overheated. It's the overheating that is making it have this fire burn stains, okay? Also, if you have the scissors, that's electric scissors, electric cutter, the one that cuts through layers of fabric, that too will work. You just do your pattern, place the electric cutter, place the pattern on the fabric, and then use the electric cutter to cut through all the layers. Okay, that will work as well. So let me just nicely cut off all this fire burn marks. Amazing. So we have done this. I'll just open it up, open the layers we have. So obviously you need to do more and more layers of this. Okay, so beautiful. Okay guys, so can you see the beauty we're having now? Okay, I'm thinking that this was actually too long. Maybe we would have done maybe like a 2 by 5, 2 by 5, so 2 or 3 at this lower end, and should not be more than 6 on top. 2 or 3 at the lower end, then 5 or 6 on top, so that it's not dropping over the shoulder. But what do you think, guys? Remember, the layering is the key. Obviously, you want to achieve something like this, you need to layer more of this fabric, layer on more, okay? And then you're just going to be sewing it either on top or already planning it in the pattern so that you can sew it in there. You can sew it section by section. So how many layers do I have on here? I have about 4 layers. So you can say maybe 4 by 4. You take this one, so you don't do all the bulkiness at once. You're going to be taking it layer by layer. When you sew the first 4, put the next one under, sew it close, put the next one, sew it close, till you have the much fullness you desire on both parts of the dress. Okay, so the same applies with Ankara. If it was with Ankara, like we can see here, you would have put stay on each of this flare piece and then iron it up, sew it close. You have to sew it close because both sides are properly finished. Okay, then you're going to be just sewing it on one by one, and make sure, see, the key is also manipulating. Aside from either using the spiral method or using the slash and spread method, the key is also in manipulating the design to follow what you want. Okay, when you do it, okay, let's imagine that we have done the design. Let me remove this. Let's imagine that you have finished off the flare like this. You can see how the flare is standing. I'm sure if we reduce it, it will be more pretty. Then you're going to see this one is rolled here. You're going to roll it somewhere like this, pin it down. It's still your normal flare, but you need to manipulate it. Once you're done with that, you're taking it, okay, you're making it fall and form the way you want it to. Okay, you have pinned here, you're letting it form and fall the way you want it to, and because you have put stay, it will stand, right? It will stand, and then you manipulate it to the other part. It's going to stand with the stay. Okay, you see it standing on the body, and then when you take it to the back, you'll be looking like this. Then you can finish it however you want to at the back. Okay, let me see if there's more I can do to this. This part is obviously being rolled to stand, sewn into the design, and then this one is being, obviously, because it's even smaller, you'll see it standing properly the way it should. Okay, and it goes to the back. So I hope you get the gist with this thing. So flares are actually so wonderful these days. They're being used in a lot of things. That's about it, guys. Let me know what you think below. Let me know if you're going to be incorporating this in a design that you're going to be creating. And yeah, if you have any question, any other thing, feedback, comments, just let me know. Do not forget to subscribe if you're yet to. Do not also forget to sign up for our support group, our H&M Clothing's October support group, and all the various packages you're going to be needing to prepare yourself or to set yourself up for success. Okay, so see you in our next tutorial. Stay safe. God bless you all. Bye.